So I'm back, but I've been really busy. I've been traveling a lot of business, which is good. But let's do a little bit talking about the London Underground because many more people will be coming to London after Brexit because we're going to need to expand trade. Anyway, if you're coming to London, then the Underground will be a little bit daunting the first time you get here. Here's a standard tube map, which is probably one of the most complicated tube maps in the world. They actually have a special program that helps them update this, monstrosity of a map. But it's actually pretty clean and well laid out. You basically have a key here, and each color maps up to a line. And wherever you see the color, for example, the central line is red color, then that is the central line. So wherever it is, you know you're on the central line. I am based around the Fulham Parsons Green area, and I quite often have to travel to the City of London, which is Liverpool Street, Bank, St Paul's, this kind of area here. Now, coming from Parsons Green to the City of London, there's different routes I can take, and depending on how rushed I am for time, and if I want a seat or not, depends on what route I'll take. A lot of times I'm actually sitting and writing and programming, and so what I normally do is the first train I get is a district line to this area here. Some of the district lines will actually fork here and there. You got to watch out, read the train lines for that, but they'll tell you the final destination of where it ends up. So anyway, the district line the district line and the circle line, which is this yellow one, have air filters in them, which is, if you want to sit and have clean air, then some of the newer trains have them. Some of these ones have them. See, I've been here 10 years and I still forget the names of the tunes. These ones have clean air filters, and these ones, but the Piccadilly line, which is this purple one, the Victoria, which is this blue line, Central line, Northern line, which is this black one, the air quality is pretty bad. I actually did an experiment. I wore one of these Respro masks for for a month. For the 30 minutes I was in the tube. Okay, I got some strange looks, but they realised, they probably thought, why am I not wearing a pollution mask? You see some people, mostly Chinese people, wearing masks. Not as nice as this one though. I wear it for a month and look at the colour of this thing. That would be in my lungs. So I do recommend take these for when the dust is pretty bad. You just shove it on, not have to cough afterwards. Anyway, so wherever you are going to be based at, move to, obviously you'll find the closest tube line, but then you can look at the routes, and it takes you a while to figure out the nuances of traveling an underground. A lot of times you want to save 2 minutes a day. If you can remember where the stops end up, because some of these trains are quite long, and you know where the exits are, then you can actually, instead of waiting the whole time at the platform, you can actually walk to the part of the platform where when you go in and out again, you'll be near the exit, and you'll be able to leave quicker, so you're saving a lot of time that way. Some of the lines are actually faster than others, although they might not be obvious. So when I was the first 2 years, when I wanted to go from Canary Wharf, I would actually dread it because I would take this district line all the way along here, and then take this DLR line, which is a slow overground one, and then I'd get to Canary Wharf eventually. But then I didn't realise, the most direct, simple route is sometimes not the best way. The Jubilee line is actually a much quicker way to get into Canary Wharf, because basically, if you count the stops, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are fast trains. And actually, the doors are better. You have security doors on the platforms. This route is much quicker than this one. One thing can also catch you out is you got to watch out for these lines that fork here, because Houston, sometimes, I've been 6 years traveling. I still make the same mistakes. If I want to go down to Moorgate, sometimes I'll take the wrong northern line. I'll end up down somewhere here instead of going there. You can make the same mistake with District Line, although it's a bit more difficult. Liverpool Street can get a little bit confusing because there's so much going on. So I can't even remember what it is. Liverpool Street, there's Central Line and all these other ones, and you got to really watch the maps and just ask people if you're stuck, because people will help you. After 10 years, I'll still ask people for directions on the Underground. So wherever you're at and you want to travel, explore different routes. If you want to travel far distances, sometimes taking the underground is not the best way. Overground maps, they're actually, overground trains will be much quicker. Like for example, some of the overground trains are actually mapped on here, like Imperial Wharf. This is actually an overground train. So if say for example you wanted to get from Imperial Wharf all the way up to like Watford Junction, you could take the Imperial Wharf, get off here, take this one here, but typically the overground will always be quicker. Yeah, so for example, if I lived up here, then if I wanted to get to the City of London, what would I do? So if I say I lived at Harrow on the Hill, well, pretty much it looks like you could, in a sense, kind of move to there and take the overground, but nah, it wouldn't work. So basically, so I wanted to get to Bank, for example, I would just take this one and I would get off at probably, no, it goes on for a bit longer. Just stay on that train. I think that's got air filters as well. And you get off at Moorgate, and then you take the at Moorgate you could take the train here, and then you have to walk. Sometimes these walks can take a long time. So if you're working with a client or a company that was based around here, you're probably just better off getting at Moorgate and walking a distance sometimes. Walking around in the centre of London, like the Bank, sometimes it's just quicker or just nicer just to walk instead of having to go underground, go for one stop, then get off again. It's because it can be really crowded at rush hour times. Maybe get us a little scooter, little push scooter or micro scooter or something like that. Seen more and more electric scooters in London these days. So let's see. I'm talking about just working in here, but obviously your route could be different. It could be like from somewhere like here, and then you'd be going to like here. There's almost an infinite combinations, but yeah. So for example, let's say if I've lived in South Quay, I bought one of those new homes there, and I wanted to live in work in Tottenham Court Road, then I'd probably there's loads of different routes, but I think if I was doing it, I'd get off at Canary Wharf, take the Jubilee line, and just switch at Waterloo, get the Northern, and then I'd be up at Tottenham Court Road. You could do this one and go all the way up to Bank, and then you could get the Central line. That might be less stressful, but it'll take a bit longer. So let's look at another example of a route. So let's say you lived in High Billy in Islington. I did a lot of work up there. So say I was there and I wanted to get home and get down to Parsons Green. So how would I do it? Well, the way I do it is I just take the Victoria line and just take it all the way down to here, and then just switch to District line. That's the simplest way. You could be tempted to switch at King's Cross, take the Piccadilly line, but the Piccadilly line's this is a bit slow as well, and it's a bit crowded, so sometimes it's just better just to keep it simple, go on the Victoria line. Bear in mind the air quality is pretty bad on that one. Well, actually, I could talk about this for a whole hour, but you don't want to listen to me talk about it for an hour. A lot of central journeys is Piccadilly line. Piccadilly line takes you to Heathrow Airport. From here, it's about an hour. It's not really fun, but hopefully it'll get better once we get Crossrail line. Yeah. So I hope I've kind of made the tube map a bit more accessible to you. I'm sure there's loads of videos out there, but on underground. But this is just me as a programmer. Some of the things I've learned for 10 years. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you again next time.